we're challenged again and again to realize that we're not victims but initiates. We're not victims of life. We're initiated into life again and again.
Bing, 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 bing. I think it's time for a poem. Mark, on page 114, you share As I Age.
Sure, I'd love to read this. As I age, little things fall away as big things become more clear. I can no longer open jars or carry 2 grocery bags at once, but I can perch like an eagle on the edge of the vastness in any given moment. I now walk into the kitchen and forget what I was after, but I can recite Basho's instruction to Kikaku in 1689 and join their conversation. I now stop near the top of the hill because my hips burn, but can see directly into the soul of anyone who has been loved or broken open. And I can wake in the night with a sudden fear of death, but can quiet that fear with the ancient chorus humming in the wind. It's as if my body is a nest and my soul is a bird who has waited a lifetime for the moment it can fly away.
I want to make sure that I understand how you understand the heavenly pivot. And especially for that person right now who's listening, who, for whatever reason, feels more stuck in a dark or painful view of their situation.
Mm.
And maybe they can feel a little light coming in, but still, it's not a pivot. It's not
Yeah.
exactly a pivot. What do you mean by that?
So what I mean by that is, and this is what all the traditions speak about as the journey of transformation, of individuation, of becoming whole, is when we stop running from here to there and we live from in to out. When we start to realize, well, there are many things to do, there's nothing to do. And while there's many places to go, there's nowhere to go. And so the center of gravity in our life shifts. And for me, that speaks to the heavenly pivot as I experience it. You know, I'll give you an example. Just in my own teaching, I don't want to, as I get older, I don't want to teach less. It's so good for me. And I do want to travel less, you know. And so, I'm getting to do these wonderful things. Last year, I did a retreat, a week-long retreat on a small barge cruise in Belgium. What a wonderful thing to do. And it was a great experience. Well, I was over there, and people invited me to teach after that. Well, since you're over here, would you want to come and teach with us in London? Well, 10 years ago, I would have said, oh, that's wonderful. Let me figure that. I probably can do that. And I said, thanks, but I don't think so this time. Not because it wouldn't be wonderful, but because my heavenly pivot said, what to me, it's not about gauging or weighing the opportunity. My soul and my heavenly pivot after my back surgery, even though I'm well, said, why isn't Belgium enough? Why can't I give my whole being? Yes, there are more places to go, but why isn't this wonderful enough? Why can't I be 100% here on this river with these people drifting through Belgium? And if I'm called to go to London another time, okay. So I think that the heavenly pivot is, and interestingly, humbly, again, I think these things, I look back and, we live forward and we map backward. So the Book of Awakening, the subtitle is Having the Life You Want by Being Present to the Life You Have. I had no idea that would be a theme of my entire life. And that my whole life, the heavenly pivot is, okay, I saw that 30 years ago, and now I'm living into it. Now I'm living into it. I'm inhabiting it. And that is how we enter time and not move through time. So back to your question about someone who's feeling in pain and suffering, and we're always have some level of friction for being in the world. And I have found that that vastness, that this heavenly pivot, that this inhabiting where we are, helps me through that discomfort. It gives me something larger than myself to hold it, to cushion it, to right size it. And so in my experience with chronic pain for about 10 months, and my God, my heart now goes out to people. I was blessed, lucky, whatever, to that the surgery worked, that I found a way out of the chronic pain right now. But oh my God, my heart goes out to people who don't have a way out. That was part of the pain. That's part of the emotional pain during those 10 months was, what if this never changes? How am I going to live like this? And I think what I learned about chronic pain in those months was, even within pain that never goes away, like waves at sea, there are crests and swells. And so we have to start to discern. I had to start to discern, oh, today's a good day because it's only like a 4, not a 9. I can breathe a little deeper. Okay, I'll take that. And and then I realized, Hippocrates, who wrote the Hippocratic Oath, he said pleasure is the absence of pain. Oh man, he was ahead of his time. Yeah, even for a moment. So how do we start to, again, what we're required to do, even with chronic pain, is enter time so we can see the wavelengths of our chronic pain. So we can make those discernments, and we can ride the spaciousness, even if it's brief, before it gets intense again. And again, isn't this what we need to learn how to do in, quote, the normal wavelengths of life? And so I think that we're challenged again and again to realize that we're not victims, but initiates. We're not victims of life. We're initiated into life again and again.
Discover on-demand videos and docuseries, explore a full schedule of daily life classes, and become part of an incredible community. At Sounds True One, we invite you inward to find your way, your way.